So after I had my first premonition in this life, at around the age of 30, my life has changed totally. My whole thinking has changed. My brain has changed, and I couldn't go back to my the same way of living. I wanted to live differently forever, and I was a mathematics teacher at that time, and I quit my job. I looked for a country which has got a lot of natural green untouched nature, uh, and that was New Zealand. I did it. I moved to New Zealand, and I'm here in New Zealand now, which is amazing. I have been living in New Zealand for about 10 years now. From that day, I decided to when I was 30, when I decided to go to New Zealand, it wasn't very clear to me if I'm going to make it at all. It wasn't clear to me how long I'm going to stay. I thought I'm going to be staying like 7 years, because I thought my life does change every 7 years, or every 8, 9 years, but it didn't change yet. So I'm really expecting a huge change in my life very soon, and most probably I'm expecting to be going out of this country and exploring a different country, because as I looked at my life, I thought, well, my life does change about every 10 years. I move to another city, another country every 10 years. It has been the case until now. Uh, Sometimes it is 9 years, sometimes it is 8 years, but it is roughly 10 years. It has been the case until now. I'm 40 now. I've moved 4 times in my life, and amazing. I'm expecting to move very soon. I don't know where. I'm not planning at all, but I think this must be my destiny, and I'm expecting it to be my destiny. Now, after that premonition in my life, I started to become very interested in understanding what has happened to me. I mean, uh, it was the first time it happened to me that I see myself in a I see a flash of light in my I see a picture flashing into my eyes, and I see myself in that situation just half an hour later, which is incredible. For me, it was incredible. It was like, what was that? It's beyond reason. Uh, all right, and then I wanted to understand what is that, and I searched in books, and one thing also I have noticed during my stay in the Alps, my outdoor stay, uh, that uh, my heart was clearer, my mind was clearer. I was feeling passionate to live. I was feeling compassionate with everyone. Although I was staying alone the whole uh, month in the Alps, but I was feeling that beauty, surrounded by that beauty and enormous feeling of gratitude and greatness, like glory of God, glory of nature, and I was feeling connected to everyone in the world, every human being, even though I wasn't with any human being. Anyway, uh, and I was feeling pure in my heart, pure in my soul, loving, uh, good intentions, good wills to be good with people, to be good to everyone. And I felt that connection somehow between being able to be being good and being a good person, having good intentions, and having a clear mind, and being able also to uh, receive like spiritual messages about the future, and to look at people and see or read their thoughts. Somehow that was my state at that, my emotional and mental state at that time, that I was so clear in my mind after that Alps experience, that for many days afterward I was able to feel so much happiness. My vision was so clear. I was I was able to look at anything and see it so beautiful. It was alive, colorful, vivid. Um, it was beauty in everything, even in the ugly things that, or very normal things that I never uh, I had never noticed before as beautiful. I During that period I was looking at everything as beautiful. I was feeling everything so fresh, so new. And I've read a lot of spiritual stuff at that time, and I'm still reading. I still read a lot. Now 10 years, for the last 10 years of my life, I've been reading a lot of spiritual things. I have been learning um, a lot of us about spirituality. I've been contacting my spiritual self. Say, I call them my spirit guides, but it doesn't have to be like this. The spirit guides for me, or any spiritual concept, is just a concept, because we are living in this human brain uh, set of mind, which has needs pictures, needs words, needs names for everything, needs characters, personalities, and so on. So I perceive my spiritual self um, to be manifested, or incorporated in my spirit guides and my angels, my ancestors. My father, for example, he passed away, and so on. They contact me, they show me themselves. It doesn't happen so often, but it happens, and it happens enough to let me feel that I don't need to doubt it. I even once, um, at an early stage, like it was about 7 years ago, I used to doubt it a lot, and I once told my father, clearly, if you are around me, then just show me where you are, because I wouldn't believe you if you don't. And at that very moment, I got a hit on my head like this, and I was alone, and I felt it. I felt someone has hit me, like this, how painful, man. And I thought, ha, what? From that day on, I never doubted. I will never doubt it again, because that was very clear sign to me. And after that, there were lots of signs that I have seen and I have experienced, that um too too many to be doubt, to have any for me to have any doubt anymore. Well, other people might not understand that. You're right. I wouldn't believe it if I haven't experienced it to such a degree. But that's my experience.